So I just watched the 2025 action comedy children's film Sketch, written and directed by Seth Worley. Apologies if I mispronounced that. The reason I wanted to watch this is because the concept seemed rather intriguing to me. This idea of this child's drawings coming to life and attacking people. I also like Tony Hale. I really like him in Arrested Development, and I like him in some other projects that I've seen, like Toy Story 4. So I was also interested when I saw he will be playing a major role here. So now that I have finally checked it out, I can say this movie ended up being rather enjoyable. I had a very good time with this one. I will say right off the bat, this is an Angel Studios movie, and they're usually known for like making Christian programming or at least Christian adjacent programming. So I was very surprised to say this is a PG movie that like actually requires parental guidance. Like this is like probably on the same level as like Monster House, kind of reaching paranormal levels of like towing the PG line at points. It definitely goes to some dark places and has some adult jokes at points. Like I was kind of shocked at times with what Angel Studios allowed to be in the movie. So that was kind of a surprise for me. But the humor, speaking of the humor in the movie, was effective. Like I laughed rather frequently throughout the movie, especially at some of the dark humor revolving around others' reactions to Amber and her drawings. I was definitely laughing quite a bit at that. The drama I thought was also very well done. It was actually a very nuanced approach to like Amber's drawings and their dark nature. Like I feel like a lesser movie would like try and say these drawings are bad. You shouldn't do them. But like the dad and the school psychologist in this both show how these drawings can actually be beneficial, but as long as there's a balance. And I really like that. And I really like that that's the direction they went with it. I really feel like this movie will be helpful, like for a family dealing with grief, or like children who have these very dark but also creative ideas, like Amber does. Most of the performances in the movie are good. All the child actors do a good job, particularly Bianca Bell as Amber, I thought was good. Tony Hale does a really good job as a dad who's like trying to be there for his kids, but is also a bit emotionally checked out after his wife's death, and he's trying to suppress that a bit. The only semi weak performance, not a bad performance, just probably the weakest of the main cast, was Darcy Carden as Tony Hale's sister. She wasn't bad, but there were definitely points where she kind of just felt like she was reading her lines without much passion behind it. And it probably doesn't help that she was like paired with Tony Hale, who gave the best performance in the movie. So it is going to make an all right, decent enough, passable performance stand out a bit more when you pair it with the best performance in the movie like that. The effects in the movie look good. They are very creative. There's a lot of creative designs here, and some of the creatures are like very unique, especially like this creature that like all you have to do is just design a creature that'll like come and eat kids, but like the way it's blind, so it has this very unique looking creature like tell it where the kids are so where it can go to eat them. That's a really creative idea, and and like the creature that like alerts the blind one to where the kids are looks very unique. They definitely put a lot of effort into how these creatures are going to look. And okay, so like in terms of the visual effects, nothing ever looks real, but that works when they're meant to depict drawings that are coming to life. Like they don't fit in with the world, but that's kind of the point. They're not meant to fit in with the world. And I do also think it's very clever how each creature like feels a bit different in terms of its textures depending on how they were drawn. Like some creatures are drawn with a crayon, some are drawn with a marker, some with chalk, and they all look very different in terms of their texture. In terms of any problems I had with the film, the score by Cody Fry is a bit of a mixed bag. It works fine about half the time, but the rest of it, like, feels like it's trying really hard to sound cool and distorted. Like multiple points in the movie, the score reminded me of the Prowler's theme from Into the Spider Verse, but not like as good as that. Like it was trying to be like a ripoff of that. And there are also quite a lot of points in the movie where it feels like the score is trying to like set up jump scares. Like it'll have a very soft ding or like a ching or like sounds like that you hear in horror movies, and I feel like those are pretty unnecessary. Like those all felt pretty cheap. I was never really scared because you'd always tell it was going to be a fake out. And some things in the movie are not properly explained. Like it's a magic lake that brings Amber's drawings to life. Like you dunk the drawings in the lake, and then the creatures come out. It's never properly explained where that lake came from or why it's magic. It's just this is a world where there's a magic lake. Just accept that. And a kid stumbles upon it one day. Accept that there's a magic lake now. And one character at a certain point in the film, like without going into spoilers, gets body modifications done to them. And then at the end of the movie, they just don't have them anymore, and it's never really explained where they went or how they got them removed or whatever. So there are some things that aren't like explained that great, but those are pretty much nitpicks. Overall, this is a very enjoyable film for families with older children. I would say there are definitely some younger kids who are going to get pretty freaked out by this. I think it does a great job teaching great lessons with good humor, and I definitely recommend it. I'm going to give Sketch a B plus. So those are my thoughts on the film. If you've seen it, be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe to see more reviews like this in the future. And on that note, I will see you next time. Have a great day.